Hi, I'm beginner driver. Beginners usually get nervous when they attempt to reverse park a car. This is probably due to a lack of parking experience. In this video, I will introduce a parking simulator you can make at home so that you can gain experience and understand how your car moves when you reverse park. Before we start making the simulator, there's one important theory I need to introduce to you. In most cars, when you steer to the left to the maximum, in my case, that's about 1.5 rotations, the front wheels will move like this. The axis of all 4 wheels will point to the same center of turning. Consequently, the car will move in a circular path whether you're driving forward or reversing. If you steer less, say 1 rotation to the left in my car, the front wheels will look like this. The car will also move in a circular path, but with a larger diameter. Now let's start making the simulator. First, you'll need a toy car, or you can cut a piece of cardboard into a car shape. Attach it to a ruler, ensuring the edge of the ruler is as close to the axis of the back wheel as possible, because the prolongation of the back wheel axis passes through the center of turning. Use 3 pieces of blue tack to represent the center for turning right to the maximum, turning left to the maximum, and turning left for 1 rotation. Here's how I find the center for maximum left turn. I position my car so the left back will touches the parking line. I steer left to the maximum and drive forward until the left back will touches the line again. I measure the distance between these 2 points. Divide it by 2. This gives you the turning radius of my back wheel. In my case, is 78% of the car's length. You don't need to be too precise. An approximation is enough for learning how to steer during parking. Also prepare a plastic folder to reduce friction, and a piece of white paper with parking slot drawn on it. The size of the parking slot should be proportional to your toy car. Use tape to stabilize the folder to prevent it from moving. When you want to steer right to the maximum, press the ruler's edge at this point and move it accordingly. Reverse and steer left to the maximum. Press here and move the ruler like this. Reverse and steer left for 1 rotation. Press at this point and move the ruler this way. Reverse straight. Pull the ruler with both hands like this. All my driving techniques introduced before derive from this simulator, including how to center your car. Click here to watch if you haven't watched yet. How to center your car if there's a curb. How to adjust your steering when you're oversteering or understeering. Straighten your car to correct a little bit more oversteer or understeer situation during reversing. What to do if you fail to enter the parking slot. And how to correct if your car stops too far from the curb. You can also practice tight parallel parking with this simulator. The simulator also explains why I don't suggest steering right to correct an oversteer situation when parking on your left side, because beginners usually focus the back only, without notice their front is in danger. You can perform all these simulations at home, and once you understand the logic, you'll have a much better sense of parking in the real world. I hope this simulator helps you, and I hope all driving instructors to make one for their students. Here's my design. The circle in red represents maximum steering. The circle in blue represents 1 rotation of steering, and the circles in orange are for in-between steering angles. There are some small holes in the circle. You can use finger or something like a pen pointing through the hole, which make the hole as the turning center of the car. If you find this simulator helpful, please hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. I would be very grateful for all your support.